Lisette, is there a way to answer, a myth maybe, and an unfactual bias and basis, that to shop locally means to shop more expensively?
Certainly. We ran a study through civiceconomics.com. I believe it was 2 years ago up in Phoenix. And what the study ended up showing was that for every dollar spent at a local business, 45 cents stayed in the economy, the local economy, versus a dollar spent at a big chain store, only 13 cents was returned. And that's through sale tax revenues. They're staying in the city versus being sent out of state somewhere else. So that's one of the big impacts you can have. So even though a product may be $1 or $2 more expensive at a local business, your money's working a lot harder for you. That's money that goes to your fire departments, your schools, your parks, your roads. The other really impressive statistic that Civic Economics showed was that for every 10% of consumer spending we can shift to local businesses, 1,000 jobs are created. Conversely, if you shift 10% consumer spending to big box stores, chains, you lose 1,000 jobs in your community. So there's a false sense of economy being built, of savings. It's a falsehood. In fact, your local businesses are employing local sign makers, local cabinet makers, local lawyers, and that's where that money goes. It really helps reinvest in our community. It's important.
Right. But Karin, that brings up the point: is there a role for big business in the health of in the health of a, along with the smaller locally owned businesses?
Sure, and Tucson participates with the regional economic entity called TRIO, and the strategy there is, of course, to have larger companies come in because they can fuel the creation of new businesses, especially if there's innovation happening, and medium-sized and small businesses. So the point I think that is being made really is there has to be a good balance, but 80 to 85% of the jobs created locally are created by smaller businesses. And also, I think this importance of keeping dollars circulating in the local economy rather than being drawn out and shipped elsewhere, especially in these times, is important. I do want to mention the issue of pricing too, because I can say that I try to pay attention to where I'm shopping, and recently bought a pair of running shoes at a running store on Campbell Avenue and got an incredible deal and also great assistance about which pair of shoes to buy so that I'd be more comfortable and last longer out there.
Karin brings up a great point, which is sometimes value is really, really important, and the quality of service that you're getting from, a local business that's third generation family owned. They really care about not only what they're doing, but the community they've grown up in. They're going to really offer you really good service.
And I think we're looking, this is part of your Campbell corridor, and is that running shoes?
And the running
and I think
shop
Zoom Juice next door, both involved in Local First in Arizona.
And that's where I definitely, a lot of people shop in this area because of the unique nature of the businesses, and just if we pause to think about what we love about Tucson, it's the uniqueness, and these businesses are an important part of that. They really are.
Right. Well, we also hear about small businesses being the backbone of our economy, but what are maybe some other stats that we're not aware of?
Well, local businesses are the #1 contributor to local charities. So although some of the big box stores will give back, they'll write one of the giant checks to a school or an organization, a lot of the time that amount of money is a pittance compared to the collaborative efforts that local businesses give back to their community each year, especially when it does come back to the tax revenues that are being recycled in the economy. So I think the other piece of the equation is that these are people who actually live here. They're business owners that live in our city, and they want to make sure that their city is taken care of, that it stays beautiful, that it stays unique, that it stays, really culturally rich. And we see that a lot in Tucson. We have wonderful restaurants that have been here for years and years, and those business owners are concerned with our city's future.
Well, I'd like to show, and downtown is one area I think that has a lot of local and in many cases small businesses, and one that's been here for a long time. Well, this one I was going to say is Mary's, and it's Mary's Flowers, and this is she's in the help me, which building?
Pioneer Building. Yes.
And what step into and smell. I mean, and she's been there for a little while, and then of course there's Perry's.
And they're a great example of a business that's been here for many generations, you know.
That's a great story.
Right.
It really is. It really is.
They made my wedding ring there.
Did they make your wedding ring? I'll be darned.
That's great. That's
But
really
you know,
fabulous.
they've been able to survive.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. And you know, I think back to the issue of cost, because I don't think any of us would ignore the down economy and that everybody has less to spend. And so we just have to remember there are great bargains and there are great stores that are locally owned or that offer really exceptional deals, unique gifts. I mean, you know, there's another jeweler downtown who sells jewelry that features marbles, and it's beautiful and it's practical
and it's wonderful to find these.
And the prices are great, and so I mean, we could talk about different ones, but I just want to make sure that's something that we emphasize. You can get good deals, really long-lasting, durable items that.
And one of the economic studies that happened was that we learned that even shifting consumer spending, if instead of getting your coffee at a big box shop every day, if 1 out of 5 times you support a local business, your local economy benefits from that. It makes a significant economic difference to shop local 1 out of every 5 times. So it doesn't have to be a lifestyle shift. It's just being mindful of what your dollars are doing for you and your community. So you don't have to, you know, you can go out the day after Thanksgiving and find the Gonga deals, but if at the end of the day you end your day at a local restaurant, you know, it could really be a great thing.
And speaking of Gonga deals, I do want to make sure that I don't forget, and it's called, what day is it?
Buy Local Day.
Buy Local Day. And we will have some information that it's Buy Local Day, and it is Friday, November 28th, which is the day after Thanksgiving, citywide, locally owned businesses, and you can always call 791-4711 or check the website, localfirstaz.com. That's localfirstaz.com. And Bill, back to you as a business owner. You know, in order to start and to maintain a small business or a business locally, it takes a lot of work. For lack of a better, but I know it's hard work. So, you know, what should people know, and you know, that they need to consider before?
Well, first of all, it's easy to start a business. That's one thing, but there are resources for learning to do that. A number of them, including the McGuire Center, which is kind of a long way because it's a university. You have to get into the university. But there's also the SCORE. There's a micro business center development, small business.
That's another long name, but they're micro business
advancement center. There is the Pima College Small Business Development Center. I believe Project PEP has a micro business center for rural residents. There are different mentoring from different business owners is also important. I do mentoring for some people that I know. Starting a business, again, is important, but mainly understanding that your competition, who you're dealing with. I always recommend that you can do well by doing good, which is observing what is known as a triple bottom line. You not only profits, but also your socially conscious business, as well as environmentally friendly business, means you can attract much more attention to your business by focusing on those 3 aspects of a business plan. And that's what as a business owner I've tried to do to keep not only that business is profitable, but also doing something that does good.